Hello, this is D.L. Hughes from VelocityWriting.com. In this video, we're looking at how to write a news story. No matter what information you write, the journalistic style is a winner. Journalistic stories grab reader attention with a headline that stops them in their tracks. Now, this is not news. It's so common. Now, this is news and a headline you can sink your teeth into. Always go for the eye catcher, but don't be cutesy. Examine major newspapers and news websites to see what headlines grab your attention and learn from that. There's no fluff in a news story. Just the facts, ma'am, as Dragnet Sergeant Joe Friday used to say. In a news story, you quickly discover those facts by asking these questions. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Now, you can write an interesting and informative story when you ask the simple questions and then, very importantly, listen to what people say. By the way, good journalism is identified by its objectivity. Just the facts. Let the readers make up their minds about those facts. Sadly, today, we have journalistic crusaders who bend facts to fit their social or political bias. Horrible people, in my view. Commentary is fine, but it belongs on the editorial page, not on the news pages or news programs. Now, how do you structure the information you collect? Well, journalism has a unique pyramid style, but this isn't it. Actually, it's an inverted pyramid. At the top is the most important aspects of the story. Notice here that you start with a lead, a single sentence or two that seizes the attention of the reader. It's a hook. Then you do a mental sorting of the various facts, always keeping the most important ones nearer the top. Some information may not be important at all, but it might be nice to include. That always goes at the very bottom of the story. Now, here's a perfect example from a human interest story from the Associated Press. I'm going to read the story, and as I do, I'm going to highlight the inverted pyramid structure. Dateline, Pensacola, Florida. It took about 34 years, but a sailor finally got a response to a message he stuffed into a plastic bottle and tossed into the Atlantic Ocean. Then 19-year-old Rob Hurst was a petty officer in the Navy aboard the USS Coral Sea. His message included the ship's coordinates, his name, the date, and his address. Less than a year later, a couple found the bottle while vacationing in the Florida Keys. But Gordon and Cindy Breivik didn't try to contact Herbst. Instead, they hung on to the bottle. Late last year, they noticed the bottle while moving and contacted Herbst in Pensacola through Facebook. He was stunned and tells the Pensacola News-Journal that he now plans to donate the bottle to Pensacola's Naval Aviation Museum. Now, that ends the Associated Press story. Nice structure, isn't it? We got the picture in our minds with a minimum number of words. The way you lead, your first paragraph, is important to every story. You adjust the lead to the story. What kind of lead grabbed reader attention in this message in a bottle story? Well, it's called the story summary lead. He got word back after 34 years. That was the summary of the whole story. We could write some other types of leads for this story. For example, there's the news lead. In that case, the story might have started with this. A Pensacola couple responded to the governor's proclamation to help clean up our beaches. One plastic bottle they picked up on the beach was special. Hard news, you see, at the front with an example from the couple's discovery. Then there's the quote lead. "I saw the message in the bottle right away," said Cindy Breivik of Pensacola. "My husband Gordon was excited too." You see, the story starts with a direct quote, and there's some mystery in it as well. Then there's the description lead, which is a little less common. The crystal waves washed ashore on the shimmering sand when Gordon and Cindy Breivik saw something unusual in the twilight. It was a bottle, and inside was a note from a lonely sailor. Scene setting like this is more common in feature articles rather than news stories, but it's used in news stories too. The key idea: your lead sets the tone for your news story. How do you write the rest of the story after the lead? When I started out as a young journalist, my editor told me to write tight and bright. What does that mean? Well, when you write tight, it means you eliminate the fluff. Short, declarative sentences for the most part, and a few complex or compound sentences thrown in to spice things up. Don't add anything that's not relevant. No fat, keep it lean. What does it mean to write bright? Well, it means to engage your reader, often on an emotional level. You write so they are compelled to keep reading. Read any well-written news story and you'll see most hit the subject hard and include relevant quotes from others. They keep the pace moving with 1 to 4 sentences to a paragraph. Good journalism offers the meat of the story and no side dishes. In summary, look for the real news in each story, not just the obvious. Ask the right questions: who, what, when, how, and why. Structure your story correctly. Use the inverted pyramid. You pick the most appropriate lead for the kind of news you're covering. And you tell the story in brief paragraphs made up of short, content-rich sentences. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helps you on your writing journey, no matter what kind of writing you're doing. For bonus goodies, check out the description for this video on YouTube. Get great information by subscribing to my channel. Also, click on the bell to get notifications. I'll see you soon.